find out if Study Puppy was going to be a good idea for the ASU campus, we first decided that we were going to need to collect some data from the current enrolled students around campus. What we were able to look into with that is the stress that current students are experiencing and what their forms of emotional support are at the current moment, and if implementing a Study Puppy system would be something beneficial for the students of the campus. So our first couple questions are going to help us to identify and separate our different demographics. We have age 18 to 45. We have sex, male, female, intersex. We have our different ethnicities ranging from Caucasian to Black or African American, American Indian or Native Alaskan, Hawaiian, Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, or Hispanic or Latino. So this is going to allow us to break down each different groups to figure out where our majorities are and which groups are going to be impacted the most, or if there is any difference in the groups at all. So as of right now, our next questions are going to be going into figuring out what supports of emotional support they currently use, as well as identifying what their main one is, if that's family, friends, a significant other, or an online community. From there, we're going to move into some questions ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree, 1 being strongly agree, 7 being strongly disagree. These questions are all going to be based around stress and their ability to handle them, plus if implementing a Study Puppy system would be something that's going to help reduce these stress levels. So recently, have you found that coping with your daily activities, have you found difficulty coping with your daily activities? So what this question is going to allow us to do is identify what their current level of stress is right now as we go into the different types of support, so we can see how strong they are as well as their different types of support. The next question we have is, how recently have you felt confident about your ability to handle your scholarly activities? So this is going to be ranging from 1 to 7 again. This is just going to allow us to get an idea of the current status of how people are feeling about their ability to handle stress while balancing in their school, work, relationships, everything like that. Next we have, I have friends that I can rely on when dealing with stress, and I have family I can rely on when dealing with stress. 2 separate questions, both 1 to 7. This is going to allow us to identify if they have multiple forms of support, and if they are, which ones are the strongest, and if they have multiple strong suits. Next we have, animals help with emotional support. Now, this is going to be ranging from 1 to 7, and this is going to help us identify what the current market is, and if they think that this is already going to be something that they could see themselves doing in the future. Now, moving into our next question, when I have an animal around, I feel less stressed. So this is a question that I think is really important, because this is going to allow us to know if having the puppy at home is going to be too much of a duty, or if it's going to be something that allows them to have a second form of responsibility, as well as something to help relieve their stress. Now, next we have, I would have less stress studying and following through all my scholar activities if I had a support animal around. So this will help us identify if having the support animal around is going to make sure that they can study more effectively, as well as have longer increased studying periods without burning out. Next we have you heard of other campuses implementing support animals for students? So this is going to give us an idea of if they have heard of this idea before, as well as if we're going to need some feedback around what's working on other campuses and what's not, or if students are already hearing of this idea, then they may be biased towards one side or the other of the questions. If my campus had support animals available for students, I would take advantage. So this is going to allow us to see what % of students would actually be impacted by implementing this, and how many of them would take advantage as of right now, or in a week, or after this semester, or if they wouldn't want access at all. So from there, with all these questions, we're going to be able to figure out and identify our target.